Here's some LA slang and a lot of Southern California slang we use commonly. In a lot of Southern California also. Orange County has its own separate slang somewhat. There's Southern California and then there's Southern California. There's like San Diego, they have their own. But Southern California is mostly similar, but LA specifically has its own thing too. The first thing is the. So you add the word the in front of any interstate highway. So you say the 405, the 101, the 134, the 110. You always put the in front of any highway. People will know what you're saying. They'll be like, oh, I hate the 405. Such a pain. It really is. The civil engineering is intense. Same in downtown LA, it's such a mess. And the story with the 101, just like a quick LA story. So a bunch of rich people who lived in the area bribed their way to not have the highway close to their house, which is why the 101 is so weird. Bump it means to turn it up, turn the volume up. If you're in an Uber and you're going out with your friends, Uber driver, can you please bump it? And then they'll be like, yeah, sure. And then they'll just turn it up. Or they won't even say anything, they'll just like nod and turn it up. We have like a lot of 90s hip hop influence because West Coast. And I grew up kind of in the hood. Grew up in Orange County. My roots are LA for sure. And oh, there's one. So I'll go through that real quick. I was in Fullerton, or what they call Fulas, and Anaheim. I'd literally see Disney fireworks from my kitchen every single night. In summer, it'd be a little bit earlier. We would skip school and go to Disneyland. Flip a female dog just means to make a U-turn. That's specific to LA. The parking is insane. We say like a lot. Oh, literally is another one. It's become figurative. It started in the valley and then became an internet thing. Like was always a crutch word for us. We don't say or we say like. You can count how many times I say like. I will literally edit in videos every single time I say like. It's too much. And I sound uneducated. I have a vocabulary. I just choose not to use it. And it depends on who I'm with. People my age. When I explain something, we'll say he was like, instead of saying he said, he responded, he explained. People will have a high IQ, a high profile job, and they'll still say, yeah, he was like, it's just a thing. It started in the valley. I lived in the valley for a few years. The valley is like the Kardashians. That's how they talk. They live in Calabasas. So Calabasas used to be nothing. All these posh people would move there because it's away from the city. Westlake Village is literally the other side of Malibu. Sherman Oaks is the other side of Beverly Hills. Studio City is the other side of the Hollywood Hills, etc, etc. I'll even go through like a little bit of the neighborhoods. And I should make a separate video for like all the neighborhoods and what they represent. The valley accent, like saying like when you go up at the end of every sentence, I will edit videos and hear myself in a business presentation or a proposal. I'll hear a recording of myself going up at the end. The valley is where people film. That's where all the studios are mostly. There are some studios on Los Angeles proper, and it's where the actual people live. Rich people live in Beverly Hills, but they're like all lawyers and professionals and doctors. It's a nice like private area. It's very green. It's watered. It's its own private area. It's not part of LA. It's its own city. It has its own irrigation, everything. The valley is where like all the actors live. Jennifer Aniston lives, and Chris Brown lives, and Bill Nye lives, and the performers and the writers and the producers. If you see someone out wearing sweats and walking out, they've made it. The way people dress in Los Angeles is horrible. They come out in pajamas and sweats. In LA, we're very, very, very casual. We saw this couple who was on a date. He saw the guy. He had like a baseball cap, a t-shirt, and jeans, flip-flops. My Parisian friend was telling me, I hate seeing Americans wearing flip-flops with jeans. The girl on the date was dressed up in a dress and a nice jacket, did her hair and makeup, good shoes, put effort in is what I'm saying. I looked at the guy and like a t-shirt is underwear. Gnarly, people say gnarly or gnar. I say gnar, my Orange Countiness coming out. They say gnar when something is disgusting or something's gory or if something's weird. If you see something like a cockroach, someone stepped on it on the floor and it's like there and you see the insides, that's gnar. It can be used for multiple things, but that's how me and my friends use it. Hella is very Orange County. If something's hella good, there's a song Hella Good by No Doubt, Gwen Stefani's band. We would make fun of people who say hella. Hella means like very, extremely. It was hella busy. The line was hella long. Stoked is excited. For sure is Orange County. There's a song called For Sure by the Medic Droid. If you're a scene kid, people consider San Francisco Northern California when it's actually Central California. They have their own slang. So they'll say fosh. They'll just shorten it instead of saying for sure or for sure. And it means I understand indubitably, I agree, or definitely. Are you gonna go to the party tonight? For sure. Or for reals or for realsies. Being real means like the truth. The industry. So when you say someone's in the industry, it depends on what industry you're referring to. It's contextual. So if you're talking about the film industry, there's a lot of people here who are in the film industry because it's Hollywood. It could be the music industry. If someone's a music producer, works at Sony. It could be TV. They work at a studio. They're a gaffer. They're in the industry. If they're an actor, they're in the industry. If they're a writer, they're in the industry. If they're a director, they're in the industry. Filmmaker. quicker. Dip or bounce or roll out or bail. This means to leave, to exit. Hey, I gotta dip. I gotta dip it low. Bounce, it's like, let's bounce. I gotta bounce. Bail is like, I gotta leave. It's usually used within the context of I have to do it ASAP. I gotta bail. Roll out is like, let's roll out. The Santa Ana winds are really hot winds that come in a heat wave sometimes, or it's just like random. It'll be dry weather because it's a desert out here. It's just dry. It's really hot. All of a sudden you'll feel these winds that just feel really hot. Pilot season, if you're in TV industry, all the series for the pilots, like when they're testing out a new show to see if it's gonna do well, it's usually within the first 4 months of the year. There's a lot of things for marijuana here. I'm not gonna go over them because I'm kind of like bored of hearing them. Angelino. An Angelino is just someone who lives in LA. The Southland. So the Southland is Southern California. Some people consider it like all the way down to the Mexican border, and then that's the whole Southland all the way up to LA. And some people consider it like greater LA. I refer to it as Southern California or SoCal, depending who I'm speaking to. I never say Southland. And the Orange Curtain, I don't hear this often. Some people do say it. The Orange Curtain is the borderline of Los Angeles to Orange County. If you've seen the show, The OC, if you've seen The Hills, or no, The Hills is when they're in LA, but Laguna Beach is when they were still in Orange County, the reality show. That's literally what Laguna Beach is like. It's like a bunch of like rich white kids party together, but they're also like do well in school. But they moved to LA and it became The Hills. The Orange Curtain is the border of Los Angeles to Orange County, and Orange County is much more conservative compared to LA. Like it's very liberal up here, and the more south you go, the more conservative it is. Like Rancho Santa Margarita, Lake Forest, or Mission Viejo. It's like a really rich, fancy area where Vans was created. Lake Forest, I think, was where Etnies was created. Now, Orange Curtain, the Orange County is definitely way different than LA. LA is more like hip hop, casual. There it's casual too, but in a different way. A bunch of rich kids, or it can be immigrants too. It just depends on like the area. The more south you go, South Orange County, the richer it gets. The more north, more like working class people. And then a grom, when surfing, a grom is a little kid. For the grom, I got a new board for the grom. A grommet, but you just say grom, like a little kid who surfs. Heavy, everybody uses this now. I guess it started in LA. Like when something is emotionally weighing down on you, it's not a physical thing. So that was very deep and emotional. Cruise, I haven't heard this in a while. This is like old school like surfer. I guess some people do in Venice. So we're gonna cruise the ice cream shop. You want to join us? We're gonna cruise by the show. Cruise can be checking something out or going somewhere. When you cruise by a place, like you drive slowly and you check it out. Cruise is like when you stop by somewhere. Then there's like a bunch of words for cool I haven't used in ages. Every now and again I'll say diggity diggity dope. That's dope. There's like tight, dope, down, sick, bomb, dank, which is more like marijuana related. Fire, like that's fire. But I say none of these things. I just say that's spectacular because I'm an adult now. I haven't spoken like this in ages because my husband's from England, and so I got used to the way he speaks. People here in LA are super educated, and then they still talk like, what's up? Like they'll still like be very casual. Epic is when something is a huge deal, or if something's really cool or really exciting. Like if you do a skateboard move and you land it properly. If you watch a really good movie, like that was epic. Book it can be like to run. Physically, book it now. Like if you're jaywalking, like let's book it. Let's cross the street. Let's run. Let's go. Should I book it? If you have your skateboard and you're like, let's book it, and then you skate right away. You do it now, in the moment. To eat this is to fall on your face when you fall. Someone does a skateboarding move, he ate it. Your car is your whip or your ride. Like check out my new whip, check out my ride. Shred can be multiple things. So like if you play guitar, you shred. If you surf, you shred. Skateboard, you shred, but it's particularly like doing very well on said items. Butthurt, my New Yorker friend told me, I hate that LA people say this, like a really casual. Butthurt is when someone is extremely hurt or offended or deeply hurt and they get butthurt about something. He got really butthurt when I didn't say hi to his girlfriend. Extra, this is like internet slang, I guess. Something's over the top or dramatic. Go, like instead of let's go, bruh or dude. My girlfriends and I will say bruh or dude. When you text someone dude, like I stopped saying this because my husband said, can you please stop calling me that? Saying bruh or dude is just not very ladylike. When you text your girlfriend whom you've known since you were 12 and you text them dude, that means you have some news. Dude, you guys, check this out. You're about to present something legit, the real thing, coming in hot. So like when you're driving really fast, you're coming in hot. You have like a bunch of drinks in your hand. Hey guys, coming in hot. It means that you're arriving very quickly. LA's slang areas. So when you say the pier, they're talking about Samo or Santa Monica. The Santa Monica Pier. You don't have to say Santa Monica Pier. The pier. You want to go to the pier? The boardwalk is Venice. PCH is Pacific Coast Highway. It's this highway in LA. Koreatown, you just call K-Town. You don't say Koreatown, just say K-Town. The west side is a lot of Los Angeles that is on the west side. It's not the valley. It's not Hollywood. It's on the west side. It's like Culver City, UCLA area, Brentwood, Westwood, the west side. It's like a really nice, expensive area where all the universities universities are. It's expensive. It's very suburban also. Pasadena, you just say the Dina, deep in the Dina. Pasadangerous. In the 80s, it used to be ghetto. There used to be a lot of gangs and killings there. Now it's like the total opposite. There's always been universities there. There's different parts of Pasadena too. Pasadena's huge. LAX is the airport, Los Angeles airport. So you just say LAX. Totes. I have a girlfriend who says totes a lot. They say totally. People used to say totally a lot when I was growing up. Everything just gets shortened. My girlfriend, she is very, very like Southern California. She's the epitome of LA slang. She says, I'm gonna totes flip a, I don't want to say it because YouTube jail. She's totes stoked. She'll say hilaire instead of hilarious. That's hilaire. Trip. So like don't trip, like don't worry about it. It can also mean in hip hop travel. So like if you're tripping around the world. But those are common things you'll hear if you're in certain areas of LA, East Hollywood. Give this a like to propel this into the YouTube and Google algorithm so that more people find it who want to live to LA, who want to integrate, who want to understand. If you have anything to add, please leave it in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this. This was really fun and silly making this. Don't take it seriously. You can subscribe. It's totally free. You can mute me, but just make sure people get this information so that they know about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did.